Coming up today on Good Morning BU.
A terrible accident occurred between a BU bus and a local pedestrian.
Boston University has submitted a letter to the United States Department of Homeland Security.
A recap on the BU hockey weekend games.
Harvard University lays off staff in Moss.
And a major update on the conflict in Gaza.
Live from Studio West in the College of Communication, Good Morning BU starts right now.
Hello and welcome to Good Morning BU. I'm Claire Chen.
And I'm Natalie Lett. Here are today's top stories. A collision with a BU shuttle bus left one person dead near BU's medical campus on Monday morning. A 40-year-old Saudi Arabian man was hit on Albany Street near Massachusetts Avenue just before 8 a.m. The victim became trapped underneath the bus and was declared dead shortly after he was hit. Boston police have since begun an investigation, resulting in the bus driver being temporarily removed from duty.
BU submitted a letter to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security opposing its 4-year cap on how long international students can stay in the U.S. University President Melissa Gilliam and Provost Gloria Waters wrote that the rule would hurt our international students, calling them vital to both BU and the U.S. economy. The letter references a finding from the National Science Foundation, which reports that students typically require almost 6 years to complete a doctoral program, meaning many would be affected by the proposed cap. BU joined groups such as the Association of American Universities and the Association of Medical Colleges, which also submitted letters.
BU students across campus acknowledged the war in Gaza's 2-year marker on Tuesday. BU's Hillel Center for Jewish Students held a vigil at Marsh Plaza where they set up 48 chairs in remembrance of those currently held hostage in Gaza. Also at Marsh Plaza, BU's Students for Justice in Palestine wrote the names of people killed in Gaza before meeting in downtown Boston to protest. Both campus groups had additional events throughout the week to protest the war and commemorate those killed.
Construction on the Frederick S. Pardee School of Global Studies Timber Tower has been delayed indefinitely from its original start date of May 2026. While there is a delay, the Dean of Pardee, Scott Taylor, wrote in an email to the Daily Free Press that important work on the project remains in progress. The university's decision reflects an effort to respond to ongoing economic pressures and policy shift that higher education institutions have been facing. With the planning and design work already completed, the community now waits to see what comes next.
BU's CTE Center co-hosted an event at WBUR last night focusing on mental health and recovery. Former Patriots player Ted Johnson spoke about his struggles with repeated head injuries, addiction, and mental health challenges, and how he found a path to healing. Dr. Michael Alasko from the BU CTE Center also talked about how head injuries can affect mental health. After the talk, students joined Johnson for a Q&A and a reception ended the night. Between the scaffolding and the noise, Warren's looking more and more like an episode of Extreme Makeover. Yet freshmen are still making friends, despite a tower under construction. BU's campus correspondent Afia Asamoah spoke to students about their living situation.
The sound of construction equipment has become a familiar tune at 700 Commonwealth Avenue, where the Warren Towers renovation project has been underway since January. The $550 million project promises a complete facelift to the building. Colin Riley, the communications director for the project manager, says numerous systems within the building will be updated.
Every system, so plumbing, heating, we're actually adding air conditioning. The building's never been air conditioning. Electrical.
From now until the fall of 2026, access to Tower A is blocked, and what that means is much of this year's freshman class has been placed in Fenway campus residences. Miyazali Sipake, class of 2029, weighs in on her highs and lows of living in a Fenway residence hall.
It's like most of the time it's like an 80% chance that the person you're talking to is a freshman. So I feel like it lets you build connections, community like better that way. As for events on main campus, I don't really feel left out of them. It just takes more effort to get there considering like the distance and the walk time and everything.
As for residents of Towers B and C, the renovation has intermingled with daily life. With most of the current infrastructural updates occurring on lower levels of the building, some can continue on with their residential activities as normal, while others deal with noise issues throughout the day. Joseph Jung, a Tower C resident, had this to share about life in Warren.
If anything, whenever I go to my friends' dorms, like they're in 5th floor and I'm in 9th floor, there's like construction, like noises in the 5th floor more. So I guess it depends on the floor that you live in.
I'm here standing outside Warren Tower A, where, as you can see by the scaffolding behind me, the Warren Towers renovation project is still underway. With daily construction ongoing, residents of Towers B and C are still adjusting to their new normal. And with the Warren Towers renovation project expected to conclude in the summer of 2028, it's safe to say that BU students still have a long way to go before they can experience the brand new facilities that the project promises. Reporting for Good Morning BU, I'm Afia Asamoah.
Thanks so much for that update, Afia. We're now heading up Commonwealth Avenue to join our correspondent, Kara Mim, who is live outside of the Howard Thurman Center with an exciting update about BU's new film and television studio space. Kara, what can you tell us?
Thanks. Actually, I'm inside the Howard Thurman Center, and when you think of Hollywood, you definitely don't think about this place. But as of this summer, the 5th floor has been renovated so that BU can make new Hollywood stars. The $3.5 million renovation bumped BU up 2 spots to number 16 on Hollywood Reporter's list of top American film schools. The space used to be exclusively in the College of Communication, where it was a little under 3,000 square feet. Now, film and TV students have access to almost 10,000. Craig Shepard, the head of film and TV, said that this new infrastructure isn't just about upgrading, it's an investment into our future. Now, I'm upstairs and the new studios are right behind me, but unfortunately they're locked. But just trust me on this, they're beautiful inside and we can't wait for you guys to check it out. Back to the desk.
Thanks so much, Kara. Don't skate away. We'll be back with lots of exciting ice and field hockey news after the break.
I wonder if you know that I want the best for you. I know you're going through a lot. I wonder if you know that the big homie needs help too. That you can't just rebound from everything. I know you've been grinding.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
But how long will you fight solo? I wonder if you know that we can get help. I wonder why we waited so long. Not wondering anymore. Love, your mind. Let's see how far we can go.
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
Welcome back. After a successful home opener last week at Aganis, BU men's hockey will continue its 7-game homestand against Colgate this weekend in a 2-game series tonight at 7 p.m. and tomorrow night at 6 p.m. And after suffering a 5-2 loss last Saturday at Walter Brown Arena, the women's hockey team looks to bounce back as they hit the road to Colgate for a pair of games on Friday and Saturday. While the women's team succeeds at winning faceoffs, they've been outshot by their competitors, with Minnesota shooting 36 to BU's 27. They will look to use this weekend as a chance to maximize their shooting potential.
The Boston University field hockey team lost 7-0 to the undefeated Harvard Crimson on Monday. The game appeared fairly even at first, but when Harvard scored the first goal toward the end of the first quarter, the game quickly flipped in the direction of the Crimson, with them racking up 5 goals by halftime. The game's second half, it seemed the Terriers had a fighting chance, with 5 of the game's 6 corners. But in the end, BU could not seem to get past the Crimson. BU out-cornered Harvard but could not hold their own against the defense of their competitor, as Harvard led in shots and goals scored. The field hockey team currently holds a record of 5-6 and plays Bucknell University at home this weekend.
The 2025-26 season has started on a positive note for the Boston Bruins. Wednesday night, the Bruins beat the Washington Capitals at Capital One Arena with a score of 3-1. David Pastrnak led Boston with 3 points, consisting of 1 goal and 2 assists, alongside Morgan Geekie and Elias Lindholm, who stand on the first line with him. Pastrnak is off to an incredible start after shooting 106 points last year, but 106 will not be a struggle at all for the Bruins. But the Bruins' success is far from over. Tomorrow night, you can find the Bruins battling the Buffalo Sabres here at TD Garden on Boston's turf. Great start to the season, and it's only just the beginning. And just like the Bruins, our show is only getting started. Coming up, we're passing some Boston news to you.
I wonder if you know that I want the best for you. I know you're going through a lot. I wonder if you know that the big homie needs help too. That you can't just rebound from everything. I know you've been grinding.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
But how long will you fight solo? I wonder if you know that we can get help. I wonder why we waited so long. I'm not wondering anymore. Love, your mind. Let's see how far we can go.
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
13 protesters were arrested and 4 police officers were injured in a pro-Palestinian protest that turned violent Tuesday night on Boston Common. Police say around 200 to 300 protesters gathered in a protest organized by several Students for Justice in Palestine groups in the Boston area. Of those arrested, 7 were charged with anarchy and inciting a riot. All 4 police officers had non-life-threatening injuries, according to the police. The protest was part of many across the country on the second-year mark of war in Gaza.
Among the pro-Palestinian protesters arrested on Tuesday was a Tufts student, Roder Atwood. The 21-year-old from Somerville is accused of breaking a Boston police officer's nose and is being held on a $10,000 bail. Atwood pleaded not guilty to assault and battery on a police officer, destruction of property, resisting arrest, disorderly conduct, and disturbing the peace at his arraignment in Boston Municipal Court. When asked for a comment, a Tufts University spokesperson said, quote, "The allegations are serious and concerning. We are working with Boston Police to obtain more information, and we will hold accountable any student who is found to have broken the law or violated university policy or our code of conduct. Atwood is ordered to stay away from the Boston Common and is due back in court on October 30th. Think Boston was pricey before? Our lifestyle correspondent takes a look at housing in Boston's new South Station Tower.
A new skyscraper has arrived in downtown Boston. The South Station Tower rises 51 stories above the city, blending luxury living, office space, and transit access in one structure. But nearby residents and small business owners of Chinatown and the Leather District are asking, who exactly is this new growth for? Executive Director of the Asian Community Development Corporation, Angie Liu, points out the issues with affordability and displacement around residential areas.
The issue is that when a new building goes up, especially when it is market rate, depending on neighborhood, it can have an effect of driving up overall property values, as well as the housing prices in that surrounding vicinity.
With condos priced well into the millions, critics say South Station Tower offers little for moderate and low-income Bostonians and provides limited public access despite promises of benefiting the community.
As a struggling college student and as a child of immigrant parents, I think it's just kind of, I can't help but be, it's not surprising.
I know how expensive these apartments can be. I saw a TikTok video about it the other day and it looks beautiful, but I looked at the rent and it's like completely unaffordable for me as a college student or a grad student, and I can barely live in the city as it is.
Though the new addition to the city skyline is both exciting and beautiful, some neighborhoods say that they were caught off guard by the city's rezoning plans, complaining about components like affordability and public use. For BU students and future downtown workers, towers like this could shape where and how they live in Boston. But the question remains, can the city grow without pushing people out? Reporting for Good Morning BU, I'm Chloe Tarian.
Planning to travel for the long weekend? Be aware, you might get delayed. Boston Logan Airport had a rough time getting its flights out this week, with 475 delays and 18 cancellations just on Wednesday. Massport said the main reason for these issues is the construction the airport is doing on runways. Airport officials said passengers should prepare for flights to leave about an hour late. Other reasons factoring in may be the government shutdown, with a lot of air traffic controllers calling in sick, and rainy weather in Boston.
New England's last coal-fired power plant, Merrimack Station, has stopped operating, making the region the first in the U.S. without a functional coal plant. This comes after Granite Shore Power, the owner of the plant, stated that last year that the facility was to retire in 2028, in agreement with environmental standards. But residents shouldn't expect substantial changes, with a local regional grid operator saying coal regulation makes up about less than 1% of the region's power. Granite Shore Power also stated that 2 kerosene-fired generators will continue to run on site. The company also says it's looking to redevelop the site in the future.
Harvard University's School of Engineering and Applied Sciences is laying off roughly 40 staff members because of financial pressures. The Trump administration's research and funding cuts and an increase to Harvard's endowment tax are forcing the layoffs, along with restructuring of some of the school's offices. Dean David C. Parks says the administration's actions are leading to a shift in the relationships between research universities and the federal government. Union leaders argue the layoffs will have a negative impact on the quality of education at the school. Moving forward, the school plans to grow its revenue by expanding professional education programs and working with the Trump administration to restore canceled research grants.
Just down the street, health officials have discovered toxic bacteria in parts of the Charles River, including Harvard Bridge and Lederman Park. The Boston Public Health Commission has temporarily banned all water activities in contaminated areas. Individuals are advised to rinse themselves and their pets immediately upon contact with the river. The bacteria poses a unique obstacle for athletes preparing for the head of the Charles Regatta this October. Good Morning BU spoke to James Smith, a coxswain on the BU's rowing team, to hear about how the team is planning around the bacteria.
Yeah, as someone on the rowing team and leading into the Head of the Child's Week, it makes us a little bit nervous, especially if the water's like splashing onto water bottles and stuff while we train. Certainly that makes us a little nervous, with people getting sick and the potential to get sick from the water. But so far it's been pretty good and we haven't had any incidents, which is relieving.
In spite of these obstacles, the team remains optimistic for the upcoming regatta.
A Savin Hill restaurant is facing backlash over its new decor. Savin Bar and Kitchen, recently featured on Secret Service with Gordon Ramsay, unveiled portraits of notorious Boston mobsters as part of its redesign. The photos of Whitney Bulger and Stephen Fleming have sparked outrage from residents and civic leaders who say it glorifies a violent chapter in the neighborhood's history. The owners insist it's meant to reflect local history, not celebrate crime, and have posted flyers with context. The Columbian Savin Hill Civic Association plans to discuss a petition calling for the image's removal at its November meeting.
Don't go anywhere. We're moving from Boston to headlines from across the nation and the world after the break.
Israel and Hamas reached a landmark ceasefire and hostage exchange agreement, agreeing to the first phase of Trump's peace plan for Gaza. Hamas will release all remaining Israeli hostages in exchange for withdrawing troops from Gaza. Israeli officials say 48 hostages are still in Gaza and expect 20 of those people to be alive. U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff says that Israeli troops have finished withdrawing from parts of Gaza. The UN's Emergency Relief Coordinator says about 170,000 metric tons of food, medicine, and other supplies are ready to be sent into Gaza. Trump announced the peace plan in a post on Truth Social Wednesday, adding all parties will be treated fairly. A 3-day weekend means an extra day to enjoy Boston's festivities. But where do you start? Don't fret. Our correspondent Francis Palacios has a weekend roundup for you.
Hamilton is back in Boston. The 11-time Tony-winning musical will have its limited run this year from September 23rd to November 2nd at the Citizens Bank Opera House. Hamilton puts a new twist on American history, sparking renewed interest in the cultural period and gaining millions of fans worldwide. Now celebrating its 10th year, the famous Broadway show recently had a theatrical release, bagging around $10 million in the box office. While Hamilton continues to pack the theaters, other Broadway shows are seeing a decline. The New York Times reports that Tammy Faye, Boop, and Smash all cost $20 million to make, yet each was gone in less than 4 months after its opening. We spoke with Broadway Club students about why audiences should keep supporting theater.
So when you're watching a musical in person, you're seeing people in their natural state, and you're seeing them sing and interact with each other and talk. And it's just a different type of experience that you can't really get through a screen.
I think society will always rebound, and it's kind of cyclical that people will re-acknowledge how important the arts and specifically the performing arts are to society.
The New York Times reported that 90% of the post-pandemic's new musicals will end their Broadway runs, losing some of their investors' money. As Hamilton continues to succeed in the box office, the future of Broadway is flickering. Reporting for Good Morning BU, I am Francis Palacios.
Thank you so much, Francis. We'll be back after the break.
wonder if you know that I want the best for you. I know you're going through a lot. I wonder if you know that the big homie needs help too. That you can't just rebound from everything. I know you've been grinding.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
But how long will you fight solo? I wonder if you know that we can get help. I wonder why we waited so long. Not wondering anymore. Love, your mind. Let's see how far we can go.
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
3-day weekend means an extra day to enjoy Boston's festivities. But where do you start? Don't fret. Our correspondent Francis Palacios has a weekend roundup for you.
Good news, we have a long weekend ahead, so buckle up because here are the exciting things you can do around Boston. Friday night and the lights are low, looking out for a place to go? Enjoy the Gimme Gimme Disco at 110 Causeway Street for an ABBA-inspired dance party. Calling all chocoholics because you're in for a treat at Harvard Square this Saturday for their chocolate tour from 2 to 3:30 p.m. This Sunday is the JP Oyster Fest. Enjoy live music and seafood at Samuel Adams Boston Brewery, Jamaica Plains. And on Monday, everyone is welcome at the Indigenous Peoples Day ceremonial celebration at Newton to see amazing cultural dances and delicious food. That's all for the weekend roundup. This is Francis Palacios.
A Boston University professor who also happens to be a Jeopardy champion. Today, we bring you the story of Prasad Patil from the School of Public Health, who recently took home a pretty penny. That's going to do it for this weekend at Good Morning BU. I'm Natalie Lett.
And I'm Claire Chen. Stay safe and have a great week.